In our day-to-day life, we come across many foodstuffs which are sour in taste. Some are bitter and bitter in taste. They are also soapy in touch, right? So scientifically, it is found that they contain some acidic or basic substance in it. We have already seen in our lower standard that we can identify with the help of litmus paper whether the given substance is acidic or basic. Another thing which we have already learned through the symbol that the acid contains H ion in it and base contain OH ion in it. We are going to study this year different indicator. Universal indicator is the main one which ranges from 0 to 15, which measures the pH of the given solution. So here are some of the colors which will be visible when you use the universal indicator. Now OH part is the acidic radical, that means the anion, right? And H plus, it is the basic radical. Now we will begin with the ionic compound. It is just the revision of whatever we did. The formation of sodium chloride, you are already knowing it. Whenever the compound is formed with the help of ionic bond, it has the anion and cation. So let us revise what is cation. Cation are the positive ion, or we can also say as the basic radical. Here there is mistake. It has to be plus, this has to be minus. And anion is the negative ion or the acidic radical. Okay, so when, if you see sodium, it has got the electronic configuration 281, right? So all the electron which are inside, they will try to push this electron out which is in the outermost orbit and wanted to achieve the stable in configuration in the octet state. So they are pushing this one electron which is there in the outermost orbit has to leave the atom. Now children, when the sodium, which is 281, when it just gives away one electron, how it will become? It will become Na, then just 28 because one electron was there. As one electron has gone, plus one charge is developed and it will no more called as atom, it will be called as ion. Similarly, chlorine also has got 287 electrons. So, one electron which was there in the sodium, that comes here towards the chlorine and you get the electronic configuration as 288, right? So when one electron is added, you get the stable electronic configuration. So because it is taking one electron, negative charges develop in it, right? So negative charges develop. It has got the electronic configuration as 288. So you have the sodium chloride. See, this is the sodium chloride. Now, as you see here, children, there one electron has gone, so it will be having the plus charge, and here it will be having the minus charge, right? So this is the cation. and this is the anion. So you have the cation and anion. As there is a give and take relationship between them, so there is a bond created between this sodium and chlorine, and this is called as the ionic bond, right? So we have children here the electronic bond between the sodium and chlorine, and thus we get how the common salt is formed. Sodium and chloride, now they are walking hand in hand. Now I'll just give an example. As we all go to picnic, when I ask you, come on, come out in a pair. So maybe the two students are in pair. We ask you to walk in pairs, having hand in hand. So sodium chloride is also along with us in the picnic. Okay, walking hand in hand, sodium and chlorine. Now, as we reach to the picnic spot, maybe the resort, thereafter, once you enter in the resort, what happens is we ask you, okay, as we got the entry now, you are free to move. But remember that during lunchtime, you are supposed to gather here. Like that, the instructions are given. So, so what happens is, children, as soon as the sodium chloride enters in water, okay, say for us like a water park, they are also free to move. What happens is here the water molecule will enter और क्या करता है ये सोडियम और क्लोरीन का हाथ छुड़वा देता है. Okay, so now they are not walking hand in hand. Okay, they are separated. So how they will separate? There will be sodium atom or sodium ion. Yes, they will be sodium ion and chlorine ion because they are already having it. Just that hand in hand things are not there, right? So when you see this is the sodium chloride added in water. I'm just magnifying it. So children, here you can see that in between now the water molecule has started entering. Got it? You can see the pink color, green color, and the blue color. So they are entering it. So because of this, as the water entered in this bond, the bond got, that means it is that water is trying to overcome this ionic bond car, whatever electrostatic force is there, na, that one. Okay. So this is what is happening. So sodium ion and the chlorine ion, they are freely moving, but where they are moving? Inside the water only. As you people are also free to move in the water park only, not outside. You are not supposed to go out of the water park once you enter into it. So same thing is applicable for the sodium and chlorine ions also. Okay. So definitely you start evaporating, keep it in a evaporating dish and heat it. The water will escape and they will again form salt. Okay, so they are able to move only in water, and this process is called as dissociation. So you understood what is dissociation? So when the substance is dissolved in the water, so you will get the solution that is called as the aqueous solution. Huh? So all this positive charge and the negative charge sitting side by side, they are now free to move. They are separated from each other. Got it? Now the next part is the theory of acids and base. I'll just talk about the scientist Arrhenius as he has given the theory of acid and base. This Arrhenius is the Swedish scientist. I just shown that Swedish part in the world map also. So he was the Swedish scientist who put forward the theory of acid and base in the end of the 19th century. That is roughly approximately in 1887. He gave the definition of acid and base, and he gave very easy definition. He said that acid is a substance which on dissolving in water give rise to H plus ions as a cation, and he gave the examples of the HCl, H2SO4. Okay, so how will you understand this HCl? जैसे ही water डाला, what will happen? Dissociation will take place. So what is dissociation? Separation of the ion. So you will get H plus ion and Cl minus ion, right? Now H2SO4. H2SO4, when dissolved, H ion gets separated and you will get HSO4. Again this HSO4 will get further dissociation and you will get H plus and SO4. So ultimately what you got? One H ion here, one H ion here. So two H ion in H2SO4. You will get two H ions and you have SO4 as the negative ion. Okay, so now you can observe here also you got H, here also you got H. So what is acid? Acid is a substance which on dissolving in water give rise to H plus ions as the only cation. Okay, now let us have some other things. I'll just show you. This is, let me take an example. The same thing about the bases also. Now let us come towards the base part. As we have the acid, same way the definition of base says a base is a substance which on dissolving in water give rise to OH minus ion as the only anion. Okay, so if you have NaOH, then it will give Na plus and OH minus. If you have CaOH twice, then you have Ca2 minus and 2 times OH minus. So ultimately you will see left hand side and right hand side. It has to be balanced. जितने plus है उतने minus. So the resultant will be 0. So and uh, so we have seen that when water is added, if dissociation takes place and we get OH minus ions. So what we conclude that OH ions are the only anion when the base is dissolved in the water. So what is the definition of base? A base is a substance which on dissolving in water give rise to OH minus ion as the only anion. Okay. Now we understood about what do we mean by acid and what do we mean by base. In short, acid give rise to H plus ion, base give rise to OH minus ion when they are dissolved in water and dissociation takes place. Yes, Karan, now you can do whatever. Classification of acid and bases. As we understood now, the acid are a substance which give rise to H plus ion on dissociation and base are the substance which give rise to OH ions on dissociation in water. Now depending upon this dissociation, how much dissociation takes place, acid and bases are classified into strong acid and weak acid, strong base and weak base. Now let us understand about the strong acid. When it dissolves in water, if the complete dissociation takes place, that means in the solution you have mainly H plus ion, then it is called as the strong acid. So which are the strong acid? We have HCl, HBr, HNO3, H2SO4. These are the strong acid. So acid, children, if you see, the colors are normally on the pH paper red, orange, dark orange, light orange or yellow. Okay. Now the weak acid. So what happens is here, on dissolving in water, the dissociation doesn't get completed, children. Here the H plus ion is not just in the large proportion. You have something which is undissociated also. So there are undissociated molecules present. That means complete dissociation is not done. So such things are called as weak acid. They are giving H plus ion but not that much. It is less because complete dissociation is not done. So such things are called as weak acid. Such one of the weak acid we are eating, acetic acid. Okay, so carbonic acid, acetic acid are the acids which are weak acid. Normally we can eat these weak acids. Now come to strong base. Strong base are the substance which on dissolving complete dissociation takes place and you get OH minus ions, right, as the basic radical. Okay, so complete dissociation, then it is strong base. And can you think of what will be the definition of weak base? Weak base are the substance which on dissociation give rise, not complete dissociation takes place, large proportion of the undissociated particles are there. Okay, so such things are called as weak base. What are the example? Ammonium hydroxide. Okay, one another things which comes normally in our day-to-day life, which we call as alkali. Now what is alkali? The base which is completely dissolved in water, then that thing is called as alkali. Okay, so base which is dissolved in water is alkali. Clear? So strong acid, complete dissociation. Weak acid, partial dissociation. Strong base, complete dissociation. And you have the weak base, partial dissociation. Okay, so you can remember, in strong complete dissociation takes place and in weak partial dissociation takes place. Now after understanding this, we are in position to understand about the basicity and acidity. As you all know, children, that acid give rise to the H plus ions. So number of H plus ions which are present in an acid, that is called as the basicity of that acid. उल्टा है, acid के अंदर जो H ion है, that is called as basicity, और बेस के अंदर जो OH माइनस आयंस आते हैं दे आर कॉल्ड एज दी एसिडिटी. चलो कम ऑन, लेट अस डू सम प्रैक्टिस. Here in front of you the table is there. Now HCl, you have one molecule will give only one H ion, right? So that's you have the basicity as 1. HNO3, you have H plus ion, so your basicity here is 1. Then H2SO4, there are 2 hydrogen ion na, so 2. H2CO3, 2. H3PO4, 3. H2BO3, 4. 3. All are 3 because H3 is there. CH3COOH, here then this will be 1 because CH3COO is a complete negative group. Okay, this is one negative group and you have H plus as only one ion. So only the last is little tough, that basicity is 1. Now coming to the number of OH ions in the base. For example, NaOH में only 1, KOH में 1, CaOH twice में 2, BaOH twice में 2, AlOH thrice में 3, FeOH thrice में 3, NH4OH में 1. So this is the basicity. So acid and bases are classified according to its basicity also, right? So basicity means the number of H plus ions obtained by dissociation of one molecule of acid. So acid का क्या होता है? Basicity. And base का क्या होता है? Acidity. Okay. So number of OH ions are there, that is called as the acidity. Number of H ions, that is the basicity. Okay. So basicity is there for the acid and acidity is there for the base. Having understood this, let us go ahead and understand about the concentration of acid and base. Now in front of you there are 2 beakers. Now I am taking one lemon. I am cutting into 2 parts. Say one part I had added to this beaker and one part of lemon juice I added to it. Both are equal part. Okay. But now what I did, I just took 10 ml of water in beaker number A and in beaker number B I took 20 ml of water. So what is the solute here? Lemon. Okay, half lemon यहाँ पे, half lemon यहाँ पे, तो दोनों में equal है. But solvent here is just 10 ml and here 20 ml. तो यहाँ पे solvent ज़्यादा है. So what you have the solute same but solvent is different. You have here little and you have here more. So B contains more of solvent. So when you will taste it, what will happen? Which will be more sour or both will taste equal?
Miss 10 ml beaker.
Yes.
A beaker.
A beaker will taste more sour. But the lemon was same, half and half in both. And sourness is due to lemon. Yes, the amount of water is differing now. That is the reason. So, this give rise that we need to know. Solute डाला कितने solvent में डाला, how much is that? That is also important. So that give rise to a new concept called as the concentrated. जहाँ पे पानी कम हो, that we call as more concentrated. And the one which contains more amount of water, we call as less concentrated, or you can say dilute. Right? So here this is the dilute solution and this is the concentrated solution. Right? So as the number of things it is different, suppose in 1 liter, suppose you have 1 liter of water, the amount, so suppose this is the bottle of 1 liter. Okay, in this bottle if you have 35 grams of salt, then you can say that the concentration is 35 grams per liter. जो अभी normal sea water होता है ना, उसमें ये होता है, इतना होता है. But suppose instead of 70 grams, if I am adding 35 grams, if I am adding 70 grams, so 70 grams per liter, that will be the concentration of the other. So kitne grams in 1 liter, that is one of the things which we talk, and that is called as grams per liter. So concentration of the solution is measured in terms of grams per liter. And another thing is number of moles. The last chapter we know it that molecular mass expressed in grams is called as the mole of that particular substance. So the mass of the solute in grams dissolved in 1 liter of solution is one way of defining, and the number of molecules of the solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution is the another way of defining. So number of moles. So for example, let me take example of let me take, say I am having 20 grams of NaOH. Okay, now you must know what is the molecular mass of NaOH. Can anyone find out and tell me now? Na matlab 23, O matlab 16, and H means 1, that means 40. So 40 grams matlab 1 mole. So मेरे पास 20 grams है. So how many moles? आधा ना, 40 ग्राम्स का आधा, तो एक का आधा क्या होगा? हाफ. हाफ इज रिटन एज 0.5. सो 0.45 मोल of solution is there. But how we write down, children, that's a way of writing. I'll just show it to you. So that means you will write down in this way. Molarity of NaOH is 0.5. okay, molarity you have to write down in a square bracket. Square bracket के अंदर वो जो भी चीज़ लिया वो लिखने का. Suppose I take an NaOH, so I will write down in NaOH. Okay, and now if I take 20 grams, the answer come out to be 0.5 na in moles. So we can that it is 0.5 molar solution. The unit is molar, capital M.